Hello, ladies and gentlemen. They say age is just a number, but confidence is a choice. Gentlemen, the mirror doesn't define you. How you feel when you look into it does. And believe it or not, the right haircut can be the spark that reignites your fire. He classic taper isn't just a haircut. It's a subtle declaration that says, I still care, I still lead, I still show up. For older men, especially those over 60, this cut holds unique power. It gradually shortens the hair from the top down to the neckline, creating a smooth, clean finish that maintains length and fullness where it matters, while keeping the overall look sharp and refined. That's not just style, it's strategy. Why does the taper work so well? Because it respects the shape of your face. As we age, the contours of our face change, jawlines soften, cheekbones shift, and hairlines recede. The taper responds by bringing in clean edges around the ears and neck, which defines your profile and sharpens your overall appearance. It takes away the tired, overgrown look that can quietly add years and replaces it with something structured and deliberate. There's also a psychological effect. When you leave the barber's chair with a fresh taper, you notice it, but so does everyone else. People respond differently. They see someone who hasn't checked out, someone who's still in the game. That triggers something inside you too. You walk a little taller, you speak a little clearer, and that ripple goes everywhere, into your social life, your work, your self-worth. Maintenance is simple, which is part of the brilliance. It doesn't require daily styling or fancy products. You get it cleaned up every few weeks, and in between it holds its shape. It's not about chasing fashion. It's about finding a version of yourself that feels strong, controlled, and authentic. And in a world that tries to tell older men to fade quietly, a sharp taper is a silent refusal, a reminder that dignity and detail go hand in hand. Now, not every man has the same hair texture, thickness, or pattern. That's where the textured crop enters the conversation. For the man who's starting to see thinner areas on top, or whose hair no longer lies the way it used to, the textured crop is more than a trend. It's a smart, strategic move that turns perceived weaknesses into a stylish advantage. The textured crop uses short, choppy layers to create volume and movement. By cutting the hair at varied lengths, it lifts and camouflages areas that may be thinning, without trying to hide or deny the reality. That honesty in style builds real confidence. It says, I'm aware of where I am in life, and I know how to carry it well. This cut has a youthful energy, but it doesn't scream for attention. It's low maintenance, easy to style with just a dab of matte product, and most importantly, it gives texture to otherwise flat or lifeless hair. It brings your hair back into the conversation without dominating the dialogue. That balance between restraint and intention is exactly what makes older men look modern. Not like they're chasing youth, but like they're still in motion. It's also versatile. Whether your hair is straight, wavy, or somewhere in between, the textured crop adjusts. It gives the illusion of thickness without requiring density. It gives shape without needing length. And it's incredibly forgiving for hairlines that are no longer as predictable as they once were. You're not fighting nature. You're working with it. That in itself is a lesson in aging with intelligence and grace. When you choose a haircut like the textured crop, you're doing more than grooming. You're choosing visibility. You're stepping into the room with intention. You're not clinging to the past or trying to look like someone else. You're simply becoming the sharpest, most powerful version of who you are right now. It's not about hiding age. It's about honoring it, with style, with confidence, and with the quiet power of a man who still shows up for himself. The side part has stood the test of time for a reason. It's clean, it's sharp, and it instantly brings definition to a man's overall appearance. For men over 60, the value of structure in a haircut can't be overstated. As hairlines shift and facial contours evolve, a strong, intentional part has the power to bring balance back to your look. It creates direction and flow, guiding the eye across the face with clarity, not confusion. There's nothing accidental about a side part, and that's what makes it so powerful. It's a detail that shows intention, and intention is the heart of confidence. This style is versatile, understated, and endlessly adaptive. It works with short or medium lengths. It suits formal events and casual weekends, and it doesn't require a full head of hair to make an impact. In fact, for those dealing with a receding hairline or thinning at the temples, the side part can be a lifeline. It allows you to comb your hair in a way that draws attention to what's strong and downplays what's not. The part becomes a visual anchor, and the lines it creates say something that words don't need to. They say, "I'm still deliberate, I still lead, I still matter." For older men, the side part is a psychological tool as much as it is a style choice. You're not just styling your hair, you're shaping how people perceive you and how you feel about yourself. When you wake up and put effort into grooming, you send yourself a message that you're still in control. You haven't checked out of your own life. That small act of styling becomes a powerful affirmation of presence, pride, and possibility. The Ivy League cut continues that same spirit of purpose, but with an added layer of polish. It's a cut that blends the crispness of a military trim with the subtle sophistication of academia. Short on the sides and back, with slightly more length on top, it allows for both a natural look and a slightly groomed aesthetic, depending on how you style it. What makes it stand out is how it walks the line between classic and contemporary, giving you a youthful energy while still respecting your age and authority. This cut is especially effective for older men who want a refresh without stepping into styles that feel forced. The Ivy League gives you just enough length on top to add lift or texture, which can help those with thinning hair achieve more volume. It's not about hiding anything, it's about working with what you have and making it work harder. It's about using structure and proportion to reclaim a sense of control over your appearance. What this cut really communicates is precision. When a man over 60 walks into a room with an Ivy League cut, he carries a presence that suggests he's thoughtful, sharp, and still has skin in the game. It doesn't try too hard, it just quietly outclasses, and when your look reflects that kind of quiet discipline, people take notice, you remind them, and yourself, that style isn't reserved for the young. It's earned by the wise. There's also something liberating about a cut like this. It requires little maintenance, yet always looks composed. You don't need to spend hours grooming or loading your shelf with products. Just a light touch of styling cream or gel, and you're ready to face the day with clarity. That simplicity is empowering. You simplify your routine, but you elevate your impact. In a world that often sends the message that aging men should fade quietly, styles like the Ivy League and the side part push back with quiet defiance. They don't demand attention, but they earn respect. They show that you're not trying to hold on to youth. You're stepping forward into a stronger, more refined version of yourself. You're not out of the game, you're just playing it smarter. His short pompadour offers a bold yet balanced approach to style for men over 60. It's a haircut that adds presence without shouting, character without chaos. By keeping the sides neatly tapered and the top slightly elevated, it creates the illusion of fuller, thicker hair. This makes it ideal for men experiencing some thinning on top or at the crown. The lift adds height and dimension, giving the face a more youthful shape, while the close sides keep everything sharp and controlled. It's that contrast, volume on top, tight around the edges, that tells people you're still paying attention to the details. Confidence is often built in the small things, and the short pompadour is one of them. When you look in the mirror and see a style with form, flow, and energy, you carry yourself differently. You don't feel like you're shrinking with age, you feel like you're standing taller. That subtle bump in the front gives you more than just a visual lift. It gives you momentum. It reminds you that you can still make bold choices, still update your look, still walk into any space with presence. This style is also surprisingly adaptable. You can wear it neat and classic, slicked back with a matte or light shine product, or you can rough it up a bit for a more casual, textured look. It doesn't box you into one identity. It gives you room to be both polished and relaxed, and that range is exactly what many men seek in their later years, something that doesn't just fit one version of themselves, but all of them. The short pompadour tells the world that you're still active in your own evolution. You're not settling into invisibility. You're stepping forward with intention, showing that style isn't about holding on to the past, it's about owning the present with clarity and confidence. Then there's the buzz cut with beard, a look that speaks directly to strength, simplicity, and unapologetic self-acceptance. For many men, hair loss feels like a slow erosion of confidence. Watching your hairline retreat or your crown thin out can feel like time taking something from you. But there's a way to flip the script. Instead of resisting it, you lean into it. You take control. You turn it into a choice. That's the power of the buzz cut. The buzz cut says you're not hiding anything. You're comfortable with who you are and focused on what matters. It eliminates fuss. No styling, no second guessing, no trying to cover up. It gives your face new definition. It brings out the structure in your cheekbones and jawline. And when you pair it with a well-groomed beard, you create balance. Soft on the chin, sharp on the head. That contrast makes the whole look more dimensional, more masculine, more modern. This combination also draws attention to the eyes, the expression, the personality. It tells people that your age doesn't define you. Your energy does, and nothing communicates energy like confidence without apology. A buzz cut with beard doesn't feel like defeat. It feels like declaration. It says you've traded vanity for strength, pretense for authenticity, and in a world that still puts pressure on men to look young, choosing to look powerful instead is a revolutionary act. Maintaining this look is easy. Trim the hair every week or two to keep it sharp. Shape the beard to match your face, whether full, short, or sculpted. Keep it clean, keep it intentional. That's all it takes. No endless products, no complicated styling routine. Just clarity, consistency, and care. When you choose a buzz cut with beard, you're telling yourself and the world that aging doesn't mean fading. It means refining. It means stripping away what's unnecessary and standing in what's true. And truth, at any age, is the most attractive thing a man can wear.